Hi everyone, this is Beth Sager, and I finally pinned down, after many months, the illustrious, and I'm sure you all know him, Jim Shaw. So, we are here today to talk a little bit about Lexington Times / Colonial Times, which is what I keep calling it.
Right. We started the Colonial Times 29 years ago. I had just finished working as the spokesman for Massport, and it was kind of a political environment. Right. So when the new governor came in, all the top executives were ushered out, and that live by the sword, die by the sword, and I was okay with that. Prior to that, I worked for Senator Kennedy as his campaign director or field and political director, helping to manage his re-election campaign in 1988, and then I stayed with him for a little bit as his political director.
Cool.
And then went over to Massport. I had a really fun career early in life. I mean, I never really let a lot of time pass before I went to the next opportunity. But after Massport, I thought, my parents were running a small business in Lexington. It was a travel agency called Majestic Cruises and Tours, and they had been doing it for, at that point, probably 15, 20 years. Okay. And they were so happy running a small business in this community. And while I was sort of sitting, I would come to his office every day and say, and he would say, well, you keep coming here, you should be looking for something to do. And because I did have a little bit of a severance, so. But then I thought how happy they were, and I thought, my background, I studied journalism, and my background has been in media. And I thought, if I was to go to work for myself, what could I possibly do? So I came up with this concept for the Colonial Times. I took it down to Dick Michelson, who I'd really never met before. He was a very close friend of my dad's, so we went in there, and he tried to talk me out of it, saying no publication has ever gone up against the Minuteman and survived. Right. And I thought, we're not really going up against the Minuteman. We're going to create a niche publication that serves a different constituency with the fact that it will be delivered to every mailbox in the community, so it adds value for our advertisers. So the challenge then was getting it done, getting an advertising base, and connecting with the community. Because what I've learned over the years is having full market saturation doesn't necessarily mean good readership. And so our challenge over the years has been to get the readership to engage. And so we've added over the years, we've added departments, family matters, senior matters. We have transportation matters. We partner with the town of Lexington on so many things. The recreation department, the Department of Public Works, just to let people know what's going on with that, because they provide so many vital services. And then we partner with a lot of large nonprofit organizations to help them, like the Lexington Education Foundation, the Lexington Symphony, and then the arts community. I mean, it goes on and on. Right. But it's been a slow grow. One of the things we pledged to do is every month look at what we've done and try to do it a little better the next month. And that was really the secret. And we're in our 29th year, and we're still doing well. We're one of the only advertising-based magazines or publications around. Right. Most of others have gone away, including, I'm sorry to say, the Minuteman has all but disappeared. And I always enjoyed reading the Minuteman. Right. But at any rate, it's, but we love what we do. My wife's my partner. She's the editor, and I'm the publisher. And we meet and talk every day about what we do here. And we're constantly out looking and talking to people about what's going on in the community to bring interesting stories and perspectives. Yeah, I think it's a great magazine. I mean, I know sort of at Halloween time and stuff, I'm sure you take so many great pictures, right? But that people are looking through to be like, oh, are there pictures of my kid, right? Even the senior all-party night. You're right. You managed to capture my two kids at one of those things. Yeah, well, that's the other thing. We try to put so many good color photos of kids within reason. We don't go into the schools. We don't invade privacy. Right. We only go into the schools if we're invited to come in to cover events, because there's an expectation of privacy in the public schools. In the public, there isn't. Right. And there are certain events I do every year that I really love. What's your favorite? I want to say the Halloween event. You mentioned that. I love that event. I also love the, it's a rite of spring, and it's the Little League Parade. Oh, okay. Love that parade. And I have a place where I stake myself out. I position myself along Muzzy Street, because if they're coming down Mass Ave, they're spread across. Right. When they come down Muzzy Street, they all squeeze in. And so I get good photos, and that way, if I get a good group shot of the teams, during the parade, I can get more kids' faces into the paper. And my goal is that anybody who matriculates or graduates from Lexington High School, they should have their photo in the paper at least once.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
That's why we do it in mass. A lot of events.
Yeah. No. What is your favorite sort of article or whatever? What do you like best?
I like things that, I like to write about small businesses.
Mm-hmm.
I like to write about interesting people.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes testimonials for people who have passed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't write nearly as much as I used to.
Okay.
Because our advertising base has grown. We had discussed this before the camera went on. I'm currently the chair of the Lexington Chamber of Commerce, chair of Lex Media, and I serve on a lot of other different boards. And so the time, the time for me, rather than sitting down and writing, because we have great writers,
right?
I think the time for me personally is better spent working with these organizations and helping them. Mm-hmm. Because there's a lot of synergy in what we all do.
So what other groups are you involved with? I know the list is long.
Well, the Rotary Club. I was recently, after almost 13 years, I was on the Greater Merrimack Valley Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Oh.
I'm on the Board of Trustees for Brookhaven.
Wow. Okay.
And like I say, there were a few others. I'm a member of Rotary Club.
Mm-hmm.
Have been for 20-something years.
Mm.
I just try to stay involved in the community, and that I got from my dad. My dad was president of Pop Warner. He was president of Little League, and he never had an idle time. Mm-hmm. Like him, I'm not a golfer. I don't go out and
Right.
I get more satisfaction out of sort of talking with people. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And by the way, I tried golfing a little bit, and by the 7th hole, I feel like the whole world is collapsing behind me, and I'm not there to save it. Which is obviously a warped way of looking at it. But I don't get that sort of relaxation out there.
Right.
So why bother? Plus, I couldn't get good at it.
So I noticed this cap was on your office, so I pulled it down because this is very special. Not many people have one of these.
No, it is very special, and I was absolutely blown away when I received this. Apparently, my brother, unbeknownst to me, had nominated me for this award.
Wow. Okay.
I spent years nominating my dad, and he never got it, and then he passed away. He passed away pretty young. He was 71.
Okay.
And I was actually on the green. Usually they have to concoct some way to get you onto the green. Okay. Right? And but I'm always on the green taking photos.
Right.
So there I was. I was actually standing right in front of the podium when they start describing the person who is receiving this award. And they talked about the Chamber of Commerce. They talked about Lex Media. And I'm like, I have to know this person. And I'm looking around to see if any, and then as I'm looking around, I noticed my wife standing off to the back. And Laurie has never gotten up for an early morning ceremony in Lexington in her entire life here. So I'm like, that's when I dropped my head and I knew it was me. I'm just humbled and honored to have it. It's a lot of people see it as the sort of the pinnacle. You get this for all for years and years of dedicated service and all of this. Right. But I'm far from done. I'd be lost if I didn't have things to do in this community. And it's an honor. And when I accepted it, I shared it in my father's name. Aww. Because he was the one who really, showed me how important it is to stay involved in the community and give something back.
Oh, that's nice.
So, and there are a lot of people out there who are deserving, and I hope they all get nominated and eventually get one. They give out one a year. They've been doing it since 1954. Yeah. So it's been a long tradition. But
good honor.
I'm quite proud.
Yeah.
I love this town.
Right.
That's the thing about it. I grew up here. All 4 of my grandparents lived in this town.
Wow.
When I go down, and I don't, not to get morbid or anything, but when I go to visit my parents at Westview, one set of grandparents are just a few feet over in this direction, and the other just a few feet over in this direction. Nice. So it's nice to be able to go down there and have some great thoughts in my head about what it was like when they were here. But yeah, that's one thing my dad did instill in me. It's a love of community, passion for service, and like I said, I don't do well with idle time. So. Well,
you don't have any from the sounds of it.
Yeah,
so.
No, but
well, thanks, Jim. This was great.
Well, I've enjoyed it, and I just, I know we were going to talk. I just want to say this. A lot of people were, not worried, but they were sort of questioning why did we change the name of the publication
Oh, right. Yeah, from Lexington.
from Colonial Times to Lexington Times, and it's as simple as this. We were, we wanted to be a little bit more mainstream. We used to get mail all the time from all across the country because everybody thought we were a colonial-based publication. And I have a library of books of colonial America that publishers would send us for review, unsolicited. And I always enjoyed getting them, and I read them.
Right.
Because I liked the subject matter.
Right.
And then, I got thinking about what colonialism means to people in a diverse community. And there are people in Lexington who come from, backgrounds where colonialism really is equal to oppression. And it occurred to me that maybe it's time to do something about that. And people said, "Oh, you're giving into, wokeism and this and that," and it really wasn't that at all. It was just a matter of sort of respecting our friends and neighbors in the community, and even if one person is offended, that's too many. So it served two purposes. So we were able to do the right thing in that regard, and then take us more into a mainstream situation, because when we did it, that's when the Minuteman was really starting to falter, and we wanted to be of more broad-based service to people. So, but we love what we do. I love the fact of the family business. My son works with us time to time writing.
Oh, that's nice.
So it's multi-generational, and we've been doing this now. Next year we'll be celebrating our 30th year.
That's exciting.
And I wasn't sure if back 29 years ago when we started it, where it would go. Right. And fortunately for us, it's worked out. And we anecdotally, not even just anecdotally, but anecdotally, and we've been able to quantify. LexHab did a study a couple of years ago because they're looking to transition into a nonprofit for fundraising and other things. And they did a survey, and they asked the people in Lexington, where do you get your information? 88, 89% of the respondents said the Lexington Times. Wow. And we had, I think the next one was like 42%. So we felt that. So now we're able to actually quantify it. Before that, it was all anecdotal. People would say, "Oh, we love it, we read it," and that's good, for our advertisers. Because what really drove me to this in the beginning, one of the factors was I saw how my parents struggled as a small business to get the word out about what they were doing. And so we started doing business profiles, and we also put their ads in every mailbox in town. Right. So, our advertising base is as important as anything we do, because without our advertisers, folks like you and we appreciate that, we're just not in business. Right. So we one of our missions is just make sure we're constantly delivering value to our advertisers. Because, as you know, running a small business is not easy. You work for a larger company, but let's face it. No, you run your own business within KW, right? Yeah. Yeah. So it's not an easy thing. And, no. But obviously
it's fun.
But it's fun, and you love what you do, and then you have all these other activities that you do. Yeah.
And this is fun.
Yeah. So thank you for coming by.
Yeah.
I gave you a gift. I want you to open it.
Oh gosh. Okay.
All right. That's just a little token.
Not my birthday.
No, it's a little token of my esteem.
Okay. Oh, this is so nice. It's a Minuteman desk clock.
Right.
I love it.
Hopefully it's ticking. I put batteries in it a while back.
Yeah, no. Oh yeah, it's right on time. Oh, Excellent. This is so nice. I love it. Thank you.
If you look around the office, there's a lot of history here, and I've got a lot of images of the Minuteman statue, especially out in the main room.
Nice.
And the man who had those, Joe Bonifine, who was a good friend and supporter of our publication, he was closing and he had a few left, and I said, I'm going to buy all of those and hold them so I can give them to the right people at the right time.
That's so sweet of you. Yeah. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate what you do.
Oh, that was awesome. Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming by.
Yeah. Oh, perfect.